Anyways, topic 2, we have another album review of the new mini album from EXID, which is pretty long awaited, in my opinion at least.
Also their
And
last.
yes, also their last for the foreseeable future, and it is called
Yeah. We.
We
It's
Yeah,
the first of
Nintendo
two
Wii.
album reviews called
Called
We
Wii.
today.
You're breaking my
Wee.
joke.
Uh, but yeah, I don't care what you random fans are gonna come on and comment on our video and be like, "Oh, they're not
Don't click
disbanding." It's like, just,
yeah.
they're
Indefinite
don't get your
hiatus.
hopes up.
Indefinite
Every
hiatus.
group hasn't. The last 10 girl groups that have disbanded haven't disbanded, but they're never coming back. Don't get your hopes up.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, indefinite hiatus is what they've called it. I believe we mentioned it like a couple weeks ago, but Hani and Jungwa did not renew their contracts with Banana Culture, while everyone else did. So they still agreed to participate in the comeback and promotions for this, but after that, it is a
I think that-
indefinite hiatus. Yep. Or like
I
they're
think
probably
they
gonna
also
look for other
have-
they're gonna look for other companies. So.
I think also they technically have one more year in Japan because their Japanese contracts are a year longer. So there's still a tour or maybe a Japanese album that might come out in the next year. But that's just Japanese activities, I think is what I
Probably
heard.
just be tours, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or they just let it run out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be taking the lead on this one since no one wants to touch
This is
EXID
gonna
with a
be fun.
10-foot pole. Okay, so EXID Wii. I mean, yeah. I'll get to my
partially do.
thoughts
We'll
on
get
this.
there.
Yeah, I'll get to my thoughts on this, but it's this might be, just like to preface, this is probably one of the most divisive albums I've felt, or the most divisive I felt over an album in a long time.
Not for me.
Definitely for me.
Spoilers.
Starting off with the single called Me&You, in all caps and no spaces. Since we're gonna start divulging the lettering of each song now. Just plain and simply, and to put it bluntly, okay, please don't click off, but this song is completely fucking ruined by the chorus. That's all. That's literally. It's a good song that's ruined by the chorus. I'll have to preface it by saying that, because I'm completely into the song. Going in, I'm just oh, okay, they're going back to a bit of R&B type feel, and then the chorus is this stupid, generic, boring as hell, freaking Moombaton, tropical freaking EDM basically EDM has proliferated itself, or this type of electronic music has proliferated itself to the point that there's probably royalty free drops. It sounds like they just did one of those, or just they just copy pasted some generic ass drop and put it in the middle of a good song. And I think that's what pisses me off about the song more than anything, is that if it was just a regular okay EXID song, I probably wouldn't be so up in arms about it, but there was a good song here that they just completely ruined by the choice of adding that drop into it. Basically, again, I know I'm really going in on it, but it really deserves it. It sounds like they're trying to imitate Blackpink, but just 100 times worse. And if you know my opinions on Blackpink, that should say something about it. It sounds when a song makes the drop from Kill This Love sound good. That's saying something. I'd rather take the obnoxious horns from Kill This Love than this dun 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 that you've heard in a billion other EDM songs. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the biggest gripe I have with this song, and it sucks because I love the vocals in it that they showcase. I love how they interweave Ellie's rapping parts. Despite the dun 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 dun, dun the stupid the stupid drop, when they incorporate that into the bridge, it's actually really well done. Yeah, there's just I think that's just what kills the song for me, is that chorus. And I mean, I feel that's kind of the point of most songs. So for that to be for them to drop the ball that hard on it, was just really disappointing in terms of the visual or like the concept aspect of it. Like the bride outfits look nice. Like that's probably like one of the only good things, maybe, because some of the outfits that they have, like like those neon colored outfits they have towards the end.
Yeah.
Like some of that, like it looks like they're trying to recreate like 2012 Hyuna, so it looks super outdated. Or like 2012 4-minute, like super outdated. Granted, like I guess EXID in a nutshell is a group that's trying to recapture early 2010s like magic in a way, and they've just been. That's pretty. I think that's what Shin Sung Dong Tiger is. He just thinks it's like 2013 and just keeps making the same music that's from that era. If you really think about it, so. The bride outfits, they look nice. Those neon outfits look super outdated. I don't know what the fuck they were doing for choreography though. Like there's no choreography in the song in all honesty. And I checked the dance practice video specifically to make sure there's like no the backup dancers do more dancing than actual like EXID members do. And the only exception is obviously Ellie, because Ellie had a leg injury prior to them doing like live stages and everything. But I mean, like, there's no excuse for the rest of the members not to have at least more of an interesting choreography. Like, I really don't know what part. I don't know who signed off on this. I know EXID's choreography might not be their best thing, but when you literally make one of the most iconic, like, dance moves in all of K-pop with up and down, like, anything less of that, I guess, is just a disappointment. So, I don't know. This song is just like a super mixed bag for me. Like there's a lot to like here, but there's a lot that just really pisses me off. So, Jacob, you seem to like it a lot more than I do.
Yeah, so I thought the song started off as an awesome EXID track and kind of ends off as kind of just a good track for me. The beginning vocals have okay, I don't know why they wrote that there. In the beginning, the vocals are awesome. The rap is pretty good too, and it uses a lot of nice synths. Then after the build up to the chorus, it kind of just goes into a drop chorus, like Blackpink style, which was disappointing on my first listen. But since then, I think it's grown on me, and I do like the song, but it loses points on the music score for the drop, although I do not think it entirely ruins the song.
Okay.
And me, who does think it entirely ruins the song, just like
okay,
Andrew.
so you're in my camp, Nate.
I'm 100% in your camp. And my first line in my notes is another anticipated 2019 girl group release, another disappointment. Because that's what this year has been to me. We get like No and Kill This Love, which has grown on me.
Senorita.
Like Senorita's grown on me. See, it's weird. Like I don't think this one will grow on me, and No didn't grow on me, but Senorita and
I'd rather listen to those other songs.
Have grown on me.
Yeah, for as much as I railed on those other songs, I have no plans to ever listen to this song ever again.
Well, Momoland, though. Momoland's the other complete, utter garbage one.
Yeah.
No, Momoland is still garbage.
Yeah. But no, yeah,
I've heard
song,
it so many times on the street, and it's still garbage.
Oh, really?
Because, I don't know.
I've never listened to it. I haven't listened to it
Just cover
ever.
your ears.
Yeah. But no, yeah, for this song, I'm entirely with Andrew. I thought it started out really strong. I was like, okay, this is a pretty standard EXID song, but it's good. It's got a great guitar accompaniment. The pre-chorus vocals are amazing. They kill it like they always do. And then it drops into like this garbage knockoff Blackpink song, and the chorus sounds so bad and the verses sound so good. Like, I just don't understand what they were thinking. Like, why did they ruin their goodbye single?
A perfectly
like this?
good,
Like,
yeah.
This
It's
is
just
this is their goodbye single.
Not like this.
And,
not like this. Like,
like,
you can't like leave us on this note. Like,
yeah.
this is like this is the equivalent of musical blue balls. Essentially, they're just leaving you hanging here.
Well, I don't agree with that because we'll get to it, but I think this is actually their strongest album. But this song in particular is I wrote this. I think this is their best album and their worst single.
Worst song. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, and that's the thing. Like, don't get any of us wrong. Like, we all like EXID to some degree. Like, I love EXID. Nate, you hate Ellie.
Oh yeah,
so.
it's a meme that I hate EXID, but I love EXID. I probably followed EXID before most people, but
yeah,
it's just Ellie's horrible English sexual lyrics that I hate. But
no, which we'll get to later. But I mean, I feel like most of us, or I just all of us just in general feel like a lot of frustration with EXID because we want to like their music, but there's so many, and they've shown music that they're capable.
I liked them the whole time.
They've shown that they're capable of putting out music.
I mean, I've liked
like.
most of their other music.
I mean, I don't know. I've just been really hit or miss on them. Like, basically, I loved Lady. I hated DDD. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
hated DDD. That's true.
Good
I forgot that song
I was
existed.
and I love you. Like, basically, just like EXID just puts me on this stupid emotional roller coaster that I want them to do, like put out nothing but good music, but it's just like they keep doing shit like this song in itself is a microcosm of my feelings about EXID, where they have good music that's ruined by certain elements, and I feel like I love. Don't get me wrong, I love Shinzang Dung Tiger, but I feel like it's. They need someone. Again, they're probably done, but
they're not getting anyone else anymore.
Maybe they should have gotten.
It would have been
else
cool to hear.
Yeah. Like
someone else give them a shot.
And I know like EXID is his baby, but I mean I feel like it's just they stagnate or they just do stupid shit that just like makes no sense or ruins songs. Yeah. So I feel like it would have been nice to get like fresh eyes on what they could have done with a group.
Yeah.
Anyway,
finishing up my thoughts. I'm not done. But yeah, and then I like the proof that it's just a bad knockoff Blackpink song is like even the ending is just a standard YG knockoff ending.
Yeah.
Like they do the exact same thing that Kill This Love does. It's just like this anthem ending. So like yeah, and then for the music video, I agree. It was the choreo is not existent. But the music video just overall is like very basic. I think the styling is very basic. The sets are very basic. They look good in the styling, but it's not special. And then yeah, the choreography is just not good because it basically doesn't exist. They're kind of just like sitting there swaying and not really moving very much.
Yeah, like you'd think with a dance break you'd do some, actual dancing instead of just sitting there like moving your arms like an idiot or something. Like,
But I hope if you're an EXID fan, you're still around because
they probably
all I
click
have
off
left
the
is
video.
praise.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is that like I almost like pretty much every song that comes after this I fucking love. So let's get into the good stuff now.
Okay, good.
So
thank God.
yeah,
No, it's
I was
just
I was going to be worried for you guys' mental health if you didn't like the rest ones.
No,
Oh.
like I said, it's their best album.
yeah.
It's
This
their
is
worst
like
single.
this is like god tier EXID like album.
If you
tracks.
cut out this single, this is a 10 out of 10 album.
Yeah,
Bernie.
probably. It's crazy. Anyway, let's move on to We Are with 3 dots after it.
2 dots.
2 dots.
It's only 2.
Okay, I thought it.
It's very specific.
Okay, 2 dots.
Because
I usually put
I
3
don't know
when
why.
I do ellipses.
Well, yeah, it's 3 is a normal amount, but they only did 2.
Because it's
Why can't EXID do anything
spaces in
right?
between the letters.
Anyway, so yeah. When I first heard this song, I was just pissed off, but not because the song is bad, because it shows that EXID is capable of actual good music. Like it's just like I'm just like, why couldn't this have been the single? I think that's probably what the problem is with the EXID is they're capable of good music, but all the good music that they put out just doesn't get over, so to speak, because this kind of reminds me like the type of like R&B that they're doing on this song in terms of vocals. Instrumental reminds me a lot of like Night Rather Than Day, which is probably still some of my favorite EXID albums and music in general, but like it's not what people know EXID as, so it's just not as widely accepted, unfortunately.
I think the big problem is that the companies always try to like make a meme out of the title track.
Yeah, or
whether that's
super
like
mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're trying to get it to clubs and stuff like that with this song. Not with We Are, but with Me&You. And I think honestly, if they just put out stuff that's exactly like the rest of the album, like I think they would get known as kind of I don't know. I just feel like older audiences would still pick them up.
Yeah,
like people beyond just the average K-pop fan.
Don't get your single to be played in clubs. Get it to be played in coffee shops.
Yeah, basically. Like
just put out like a solid like
look
R&B
at IU. Look at Becky.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
if you really think about it, like in terms of like vocal talent on EXID, they're probably more akin to like a Mamamoo as opposed to like
Mamamoo.
Another...
One of these songs sounds very similar to a Mamamoo song.
Yeah, like they're more akin to like a group like Mamamoo as opposed to a group like Blackpink. So I feel like a lot of what this is, just in general, just like to sum up the group in general, I've never really liked EXID's like edgy like hype songs because a lot of it just feels like they're trying to. It just feels like for the past 5 or 6 years or so, they've been trying to recapture the magic of Up and Down, but just haven't it just never worked again. And granted, again, that's probably just Shin Sung-dong Tiger in a nutshell. Like, he's gotten in trouble for, like, plagiarism stuff before with, like, Momoland. It just feels like he's the definition of beating something beating a dead horse at this point. Whereas with these songs, it feels so fresh. Like, it annoys me that Shin Sung-dong Tiger is capable of stuff like I'm So Hot, and then something like this, where it's like a really nice...
You know what he should try to recapture the magic of?
What?
I Feel Good. That's one of EXID's best title tracks, and nobody ever listens to it.
Yeah.
Because it's
like,
pretty up and down.
To it.
Like, I feel like...
It's so good.
Yeah, I just feel like, EXID, like, I feel like they've just gotten the wrong read on what their strengths are for the past... however many years or so are. Like, if EXID just became an R&B focused group, a la like a Mamamoo or a Red Velvet, this would probably be one of my favorite groups in all honesty, because again, they have the vocal talent for it between like Solji and Ellie and Hyerin. Like, there's good singers here, and they keep putting them on songs where they don't get to showcase that, or they just write the most boring generic melodies for them, whereas on songs like this, they really get to shine. So that's why what I mean by this song kind of pissed me off when... Like, it's literal proof that they have the talent and they have the capability of putting out good music. So, Jacob, you liked everything else from here on?
Yeah, totally. I love the vocal synths they used in the intro of the song. I thought Hani and Jungwa's like whispery vocals sounded amazing. I thought that was really cool. The chorus with like the robotic sounding vocal synths, I thought that was really cool. And again, like, it's a super, like, catchy track that immediately, like, outshined the title track immediately. Like, I think, again, if they would promote with something like this, I think it would catch on, because it's kind of a... I think they should be... Again, like, rather than get played in the clubs or coffee shops, I think they should get played on people's MP3 players, you know what I mean? Like, and by that I mean on their phone, obviously, but...
Yeah.
No, they're pulling out their iPods and their Zunes.
Hey, no, what are you talking about?
Like, Korea, I'm gonna listen to EXID and my Zoom.
Korea and Japan have like, or the MP3.
I'd say more so Japan.
The MP3
Definitely.
market, like, or I forget what Korean company was making, like specific, like, you know, those like high end like MP3 players, like
the audiophile ones,
yeah, like they can play like FLAC files and like the most pristine quality, like shit like that is still popular over in Asia, so.
When we were in Japan, I saw like several guys, like it was usually old guys, but I saw several old guys with iPods.
Yeah.
Like one guy had like an iPod Touch and he was listening to that.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I agree. Like, I thought the like retro style synth backing vocals that you talked about, Jacob, were really cool, and the instrumentals, like, they help the song start out really strong, and then it gets even better when the vocals come in. I think Ellie's rap fits this song perfectly.
Yeah.
I love her voice so much more with like a chill vibe like this, as opposed to the like more hype stuff. I just think it fits better. And yeah, the vocals in the song can't be understated. They just sound so good.
So moving on, we're on to the vibe. So yeah, more R&B vocals, R&B like instrumentals and everything. I'd say kind of a different type of R&B in comparison to what we got with We Are. I'd say the only thing that probably brings us down a bit is maybe just like the instrumental doesn't pick up at any point really, even in the chorus. But I still think the vocals carry it for the most part. So I still really enjoy the song overall.
Yes.
Jacob.
Oh, I'm next. Okay, great. All right. So I thought this was a really interesting, like, electronic R&B track. I thought the mixture of like pianos with the synths and vocal samples in the instrumental was a really cool choice. And again, like on this track, I thought Hani's voice again like really stood out to me, even though she isn't like one of the main vocals. But I think like again, what your comment was earlier about how EXID like vocally is a lot more like a group like Mamamoo is really true, because like even the ones who are not the main vocals are still really capable vocalists.
Yeah.
So, and I think this song really proves that.
I absolutely love this song. I think this is one of my favorite EXID songs. Like
just in general.
No, I like the piano and ad libs at the beginning were so good, and the song's just so like smooth and perfect. I love the like falsetto like woos that are being used in the instrumental, and just like the mix of piano and guitar. Just everything about the song I loved. This is exactly what I want from them. So like. Yeah, it just amplifies how much I didn't like Me&You, like hearing these
pretty much,
album tracks.
Like the more I listen to this album, just made me more and more angry at me. I think that's why we go in on it so much. Is that it's just juxtaposed next to such good music that it makes it like look like 10 times worse in comparison.
Just do what I do and make best of playlists so that you can just put all the best songs in one playlist.
Or how about we sneak into Banana Culture's office and just delete this song off of like
file.
just delete the master file. We go into every person that bought the CD and just like erase just Me&You and like keep everything else. Delete it off.
Me&You virus. It automatically encrypts it.
We need like remember when Kanye was like, "I'm a fix wolves." Like we need that moment with EXID where they changed where like he fixed the instrumental for Wolves changed from when it was on Tidal to when it was put on like Spotify and like Apple Music and everything. So like
Is
we
it
need
better
that.
now?
Yeah, it's better now. We need that, but except to just delete Me&You. Just delete. We should start
It'd
the
be funny
delete.
if you made it worse.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, no. Okay, moving on. We're on to How You Doing. This is produced by someone not named Shinsung Tiger, and it immediately shows, for better or worse. It was produced by Beverly Kids. They haven't done much else, but I really like the instrumentals here. It kind of reminds me of another producer that EXID has worked with. Not necessarily
Weezer.
EXID.
I'm
No.
kidding.
Not necessarily EXID. Do you remember that
It's because he said Beverly Kids.
Beverly Kids?
So it's like a bad.
was like, where did Weezer
No,
come from?
that's you know, there's people that are born like after that song now that are almost like teenagers. Anyway,
Jacob.
I was not.
He doesn't even know what American Pie is. He was living under a rock.
Oh my god.
anyway,
I'm gonna exterminate all 90s kids.
you're a '90s kid. What are you
You're a
talking
90s.
about?
You're kill
No,
yourself.
I don't care. It's worth the cause. The world will thank me.
You meant
Anyway,
early 90s
so
kids.
yeah, speaking in terms of production, it kind of reminds me of the producer Pink Moon that they worked with. Pink Moon, the producer, did a song or does a lot of like these like club like trance house songs.
And they do wasn't it Jungwa's song? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
Jungwa's song, like Alice. Like it kind of gave me that vibe, so I really like this song specifically. And again, it definitely like the funkiness of it definitely reminds you a lot of like Night Rather Than Day. Like the bass line is incredible too. Also Ellie's wonderful lyrics, and I quote, "Stop boy and let's get naked." Enough said.
Yep.
That's going in the list.
That should have been Nate's.
I was saying that should have been Nate's. That
English
should have been
lyrics.
Nate's thing.
Miki didn't put out greatest English lyrics in the world.
Okay. Anyways, EXID keeping the streak with another really amazing song. Again, like the bass line on this track is so fun. Like it really makes the song. I don't think it would have landed as well as it did without it. I think I guess it's the glue that holds it all together. The vocals in the chorus hit really hard and are definitely like effective in their delivery. And yeah, like overall, this is definitely my favorite track on the album. I love this.
Yeah, I like you said, I thought that was great funky bass paired with like their really smooth vocals. And there's like a piano synth that they're using that sounds like a muted trumpet almost.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good like synth to use. And the song builds like gradually exactly like how I like music to build. So yeah, I thought this was another great track.
Moving on, we're on to Midnight, which was actually produced by Chunghyun of the group Trey, another Banana Culture group. So,
Trey's so good.
Yeah,
Jacob,
so-
have you listened to Trey yet?
No, I still haven't.
yo,
actually.
listen to Trey. It's so fucking good.
Okay, I will.
It's like early ballad Big Bang.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I'll
all you
check
need to
them out.
know. And I mean, you could cut you.
It's
you
a
could feel
group
that
and not an artist, right?
it's a group.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a trio.
Yeah,
Nice.
you could feel that production. You could kind of feel
Trey.
that, makes sense. Like Trey, like anyway, you can kind of feel that a bit on this song. You know, anything. Like you never really like EXID definitely sticks to their staples of either something R&B influenced or something that's trying to be a club banger, and so them kind of tackling this like indie vibe with like more electric guitar and everything was definitely. It's very refreshing to hear this from EXID because again they never really touch on it. And also just the way that the melody is written was almost instantly memorable. The do like that kind of post chorus part that's like do. Like again, it makes good use of the vocal talent that they have there, and it for a pretty mellow song too. They don't need to belt or anything. Also, I'm a sucker for like background noise and details, like the iPhone notification that happens at the beginning of the song is really cool details. Like basically, I love everything about the production of this song. I'd love to see. That actually makes me pretty like excited for both what Trey could do in the future, considering like Changhyun's pretty good at producing, it seems, and also maybe what work he could do with EXID members or EXID if they're still around in the future. Like let Changhyun produce the next single instead of Shin Sung-Gung Tiger just stealing all the work essentially. Instead of relying on Shin Sung-Gung Tiger copying from other people essentially. So yeah, this is a great in terms of like actual like songs. This is a great way to close out the album.
So it's definitely softer than the other tracks in the album, but I still think it's a really fun like pop track. I like the use of the guitar kind of like as a metronome throughout the song, and it's like the use of like trap hi-hats is usually like something I really don't like, but I don't think it's annoying or like, and it actually works well.
Yeah, it's very tasteful.
Like it's not yeah, exactly, like it's not super like gratuitous like it is on a lot of other songs. So yeah, another awesome track.
Yeah, I really like the guitar, and I love the accompanying vocals with like the yas and all the different like accompanying vocal stuff that happens in the song. And I thought the trumpet part really stood out. I love how it matches the vocals, and then after each line it has its own little like more complex part. That really stood out to me. I thought this was a perfect mix of like vocals and instrumentals. It's just a really, really good song.
And to round out the album, we've got Lady Urban Mix. So this is a remix or I guess 5 or a full group mix of Lady, which came out last year. So this song was partially remixing the instrumentals and partially incorporating Solji back into the vocals. They add like this interesting sort of like pre-chorus part that's just her. And even as someone that loved the original Lady, like the New Jack Swing vibe, I like this one surprisingly a lot, just because it's got this like really chill like horns and like synths. Basically, I was comparing this to like it sounds like something off of like the Persona 3 soundtrack, which is a lot of these like really chill like horn in dominated songs. So. Yeah, I'm really happy with this remix. Like, usually, very rarely do remixes improve songs or just like build upon songs in a way that you like it almost better
Unless
than the
you're
original
YG.
version. Unless you're YG, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get to that later. But like, yeah, this is a surprisingly good improvement. In all honesty.
So I honestly might like this better than the original song. I'm not sure yet though, because I already love the original to begin with.
Yeah.
So yeah, the trumpet use I thought was really nice. The bass line is funky. And they added like new verses, right?
Yeah, or they
Yeah,
added, they added a bit.
I thought
just
so,
so
at
that,
least.
so that Solji would have lines, because remember she was
Yeah,
still
again,
on.
that's what I wrote, was I assumed to use as Solji's part, which was nice. And yeah, like still super catchy song that is maybe even better now in the new mix. So
Yeah, I think with adding Solji and then like the vocal style they used to this remix, this is what I was talking about. Like, this sounds like a Mamamoo cover of Lady. Like, they sound like Mamamoo, like the vocal parts of the song, just their vocal style. And yeah, I love. It's just another fantastic example of like funky instrumentals with horns that like kind of happens throughout this whole album, and just really ties the album together. I really love the bells that accompany the I don't understand part. I thought those came out really well. Yeah, I love this remix. I think I like it better than the original as well.
Mm-hmm. So, getting on to scores. Okay.
0 out of 3.5. Did you give it a 0?
I was very lenient. I was very lenient. I gave it a 1.5 just because
1.5. Wow, that's way higher than I thought you give the title
it's
track.
literally the only. Okay, so for the single, for Me and You, I'm scoring that. I gave that 1.5 points out of a possible 3.5. That is leaving like that's the only saving grace of it is again that bridge and the verses, like literally like the drop chorus brings it down that much. Like basically, I would have enjoyed the song just fine if it wasn't for that. And conversely, I am giving a full 3.5 out of 3.5 for the album track. Like again, it's some of my lowest. It's like the lowest single score and the highest. Like there's some like 9 out of 9 albums that I haven't even given like full marks for the album tracks for. So like this is unprecedented. 7 out of 7, you mean? Yeah, like Well, yeah, basically like there's some albums that I haven't even given like full marks for, and yet I'm giving full marks for the album tracks on this one. So again, we're literally every song on here is good. Every album track on here I will listen to again repeatedly. That's very rare, especially from like EXID, who's usually only known for making like singles or in terms of like what's memorable. Concept, I'm giving a 1 out of 3 because it's fucking garbage. Like literally, the only saving grace of the concept score is just like the bride outfits, because those are amazing, and yeah, I think they all look good in that. So that's a 6 out of 10, and that's pretty lenient for me in all honesty. Like this could have been, for as much as I hated Me and You, it could have been much worse. But like literally, like if the album tracks weren't good, this might have been like a 3 or a 4 in all honesty. So that just
I could see that.
That just goes to show how good the album tracks are in this, and that. Yeah, really, it's a mixed bag, but like it's not. That's why you can't really look at albums like very surface level. You have to look at everything in terms.
Yeah, don't just listen to singles.
Yeah, because there's so much more here to enjoy.
Stop it.
Yep. So a 6 out of 10. Nate, Jacob, what would you yours?
Jacob goes first.
Music, I was kind of like teetering between 6.5 and 7, to be honest, because I still do like the title track. I don't know. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 7.
I was like, give it a 7 to counteract us.
Yep. So, and then
not that I gave it a low score,
because the concept wasn't. I thought the music video was fine. It just was nothing special, and so overall 9 out of 10. Amazing album.
That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. You guys are being so harsh.
No, we're not.
Jesus Christ!
I'm not even
because
that
of
harsh.
the title track.
I'm not even that
30
harsh.
seconds.
No. So, like I said, it would be a 10 out of 10 without the single. I actually wasn't that harsh for music because the album tracks were so good, and the fact that the concept ruins the album score anyway. So I gave it a 6 out of 7 for music. I could have been a little harsher. I was wavering between dropping at a point or a point and a half, but I decided just a 6 because the album tracks are so good. And then I agree with Andrew. I gave it a 1 out of 3 for a concept because the choreography is really bad. The music video is very basic. It just didn't deserve choreography more than 1. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. Without the single, 10 out of 10 easy.
Cooper, who's probably the biggest EXID fan out of all of us, had this to say. Me and You is definitely the weirdest hiatus/goodbye song I've ever heard. I really don't know what to think of it as a whole. I really love the verses and pre-chorus, but the drop is so weird. But after several listens, I kind of like it now. I also like hype and loud YG stuff, so this is basically that. I think it's because it's mixed with the choreography and the music video. It's just incredibly messy. The dance does not match the chorus at all. It just looks silly to me. The MV is also super cheap, and the camera work during the last minute is terrible. Blonde Solji is a winner, though. I agree. The album tracks are always what I look forward to in an EXID release, and they deliver some of their best here. We Are, the vibe, and what you doing are perfection. Their vocals get to shine in these tracks. Midnight is a really good closer, and then the Lady OT5 remix is just as good as the original. If this is their last album as OT5, I'm at least glad it's this good. 6.5 out of 7 for music. A 0.5 out of 3 for concept. Cooper went in. So that is a 7 out of 10. So, adding up all the scores, putting it into the calculator, it rounds to a 7.5 out of 10, which is shockingly high. We gave it the same...
I saved it.
It has the same
EXID
score as
fans.
Voice by Taeyeon. Like,
Actually, I agree with that. Well, I mean, I gave it the same score as Taeyeon, so I agree with that, because Taeyeon's musical quality wasn't as good, like, in general, but it's just Taeyeon's was more cohesive.
Yeah.
Like, the single was much better.
that's the thing. I guess
my
it's...
opinion.
Yeah, that's
The album tracks make up so much. Like,
Yeah.
If these album tracks were just standard level album tracks, this album would have gotten like a 5 from me. But the album tracks are so good.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be
Like
understated.
their best music.
Yeah, so I'm happy with the album tracks. Just launch Me&You into the sun, basically. It's like I said before. It's kind of a microcosm of how I feel with EXID. Just like there's a lot of stuff I love, but there's just like frustrating, annoying decisions that sort of like tend to hinder the group from me fully accepting them or just like fully like embracing them. So like I'm, in all honesty, I'm still probably gonna buy this album physically just because I hope they're not dead entirely, or just I love the album tracks so much, and I love the bright outfits too. So hopefully those are the photo cards. So
Also, Jacob, you can't get mad at us for giving it a somewhat low score. You gave Takeoff a 6.
yeah, you gave it
Yeah, it
Jacob-
wasn't that
Wavy
good.
was so good.
It was not.
The disparity
album
between
is so
Jacob,
good.
the disparity between Jacob off show and on show is just there's an ocean. So anyway, those are our thoughts on EXIDs. Did you like Me&You as a single? Do you think it was a good send off for EXID? Did you agree with us that some of the album tracks are amazing? Did you like them as much? Did you like the urban remix of Lady? So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or what are your thoughts overall on the group? Do you think they're dead? Do you want to see them come back?
Yes.
Yes, I do want to see them come back, despite how conflicted I am.
Yes, they're dead. Yes, I want to see them come back.
Anyway,
They won't, but I want them to.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Yes.
So yeah, like when I heard this, I was like, okay, this is what I expected Wavy to be. I don't know how to describe the main synth line in the song, but it's awesome. Like the super deep, like dubsteppy synths. Like I really like them. I think their vocals are great. There's some really good ad libs.